and gloom that, oh, the world will end now. But well do people know that a crisis happened before and it will happen again. So they see a crisis as an opportunity. Because here's the truth, in the American market and most stock markets worldwide, we have had a crisis every decade and we've had a correction every year. So for those of you who don't know, when the stock market takes a dip of about 20% or less, it's a correction. When the stock market has a dip of about 20% or more, it's known as a crash. And we've had a correction every single year on the US market. And we've had a crash every decade on the US market. What's my point? The rich get richer because they're not shocked by a correction or a crash. They see it as an opportunity because they pick up that rundown stocks, they pick up that rundown real estate, they pick up that rundown businesses, and when that economy turns, they sell it at a massive profit. And the economy always turns. It moves in cycles. Once you know this, you're not fearing anymore of a crisis or recession because you understand what's happening. You know, there was a story of a guy that was in the plane, and the plane hit turbulence, and the magazines were flying around, people were freaking out, and this guy saw the man across from him on the other aisle reading the newspaper. He said, "What the hell?" And then when the plane went through the turbulence and it was smooth, he went over, to that guy, and he said, "Excuse me, sir, I noticed that early on when we went through the turbulence, everyone else was freaking out, but you were so calm. Why?" And he said, "I was a pilot for over 40 years, and if you understand the laws of aerodynamics, what it takes to keep a plane so heavy up in the air, you won't freak out. If you understand the law of aerodynamics, you won't freak out." And that's what it's about. The rich get richer because when the rest of the world is panic selling, they're not freaking out. In fact, they're buying more. You know, the stock market is the only place where people freak out when there's a 50% sale. Imagine your favorite retail store having a 50% sale. You run in. But when the stock market has a 50% sale, takes a dip by 50%, people freak out and they panic sell. And then they say, the market, I lost money in the market, took my money. The market doesn't take money from anyone. You panicked and freaked out and you sold. But if you had to hold, you'll never make a loss because it's just numbers on the screen. If you had to hold, the market will always recover. So when you panic sell, that you lose money. And so one of the questions here is explain the terms bullish and bearish. So basically, when the market has a consistent upward trend, it's a bullish market, and when it has a consistent declining trend, it's a bearish market. So at the moment we're in record bullish levels. And then the next one here, what is the story that you're telling yourself? There is so much opportunity out there. Which one is the right one? So it's like that paralysis by analysis thing where there's so much opportunity. Which one should they do nothing? Guys, because of the crisis, there's so much trash out there online. Sign up here, do this, buy this, do your research. Do your research. Never invest in something you don't understand. Do your research. People lose money because they don't do their research. And the market is so risky. Like I said, I don't do Bitcoin, I don't do Forex market, I don't do derivatives, I don't do options, I don't do all that complicated stuff. I invest in businesses. And that's all the stock market is, a collection of businesses. And the more you research the business, your risk is reduced. And they say, I'm not a numbers person. You know what? Warren Buffett says that the stock market, it is only 20% about the numbers. It is 80% emotion. If you can master fear and master grief, you make a lot of money. And the last part, the most important, money is bad. Who can relate with this. We've been taught from a young age that money is the root of all evil. I don't know if you guys can hear that in the background. It's actually a gecko. They're very common here in Bali. It's just like a lizard, but a bit bigger. It's when I arrived here, I was freaked out, but now I'm used to them, and I actually find them like one of the cutest animals. But anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, people think money is bad. You know, when I made my first million, my friends like, Richard, but be careful, money is root of all evil. I said, you saying that because you don't have any money. And it's not money that's the root of all evil, it's the love of money that's the root of all evil. No matter how much money I make from my stocks, I don't love my stocks because they can't love me back. It's just a tool. I tell people money is just a tool. Money is like a hammer. You can either build a children's home or build a brothel. Same hammer. You see, it's not is money bad or good? It's the heart of the person who has money. It's the heart of the person who has money. You see, because and that's what I learned from Warren Buffett. That money is just a tool that makes you more generous. Because the more you have, the more you can give. You see, because if you make your first million, right, and you help 1 million people, that reveals your heart. It reveals your character. If you make your first million and you do stupid stuff with it, it reveals your character. See, money doesn't change you, money reveals you. Money is the great amplifier. So, yes, there's a lot of stingy rich people out there, but there's also a lot of generous, wealthy people out there. Because the more you have, the more you can give. In fact, I tell people, if you don't want to make money, you're actually being selfish. Why? Because the more money you have, the more money you can give. I mean, right now, there's so much causes and charities that you want to help, right? But you don't have enough for yourself. But if you have more, you can give more. And that's what it's about. And that's what we call philanthropists. Warren Buffett is a philanthropist, Bill Gates. I'm a philanthropist. What does that mean? We use money as a tool to give and share. Because at the end of the day, we can't take anything with us. I can't take this villa with me when I die. What we can take with us was our life on this planet did it make a positive contribution or a negative contribution? And that's what it's about. And it's the same if you're here, a successful person and a wealthy person, and you're like, oh, that person just irritates me, he's annoying. Subconsciously, you're repelling money. But if you flip the switch and you're like, wow, let me learn from this person. Let me get inspired by this person. Wow, I actually admire this person. You begin to attract money. You see, wealth is not a pie that, oh, you made your first million, you took my million. No, wealth is a river. The same million that flowed past me will flow past you, will flow past them. It's a river. The question is, are you dipping in? And how do you dip in? Through one word, assets. Because trillions of dollars are changing hands every single day, and people are left on the outside watching in because they don't have assets. The day you own your first asset is the day you start to play the game. You don't play the game through a paycheck or a promotion. You play the game through assets, because that is the definition of wealth, an accumulation of assets over time. And I had to start here because as long as you think money is bad, subconsciously you're repelling it. And you'll never make money a high value. And if you don't make it a high value, you won't get there, because then you'll spend and you'll invest what's left behind. No, you invest first and you live off what's left behind. Are you guys with me? When I was in the debt game, I was actually living on 60% of my salary, investing 40%. Because I knew if I live off 100% of my salary, I'm eating my seed, and I will live month to month to month until I die, because I'm eating my seed. Don't eat your seed. So I just ate 60%, lived off the 40. And before I resigned, I actually flipped it. I was living off the 40 invest in the 60. I became an aggressive investor because I was serious. I was ready to do whatever it takes. And you see, now I live the life that others can't because I was ready to do what others won't. In that year when I wiped off my debt and I pulled back and I never went out, I was living off coffee and toast for 12 months. How many people who do that? That's why I can live the life that others can't, because I did what others won't. And that's what it's about. Life rewards sacrifice. But people want reward first and then they'll sacrifice. No, sacrifice first and then reward. And that's why I love sharing this, because I love unblocking people. Because inside you have infinite potential. There's just so much blockages there. Let me know in the chat section if this was you and like